Good morning, Nilbert.
Good morning.
This is Mei Ling. How
Hi,
are
meeting. Yep.
you? Have a
You
nice
guys ready
vacation?
for a nice topic for this morning?
Good, good. I hope you had a nice vacation.
Yes, yes. It was both very relaxing and also kind of stressful because it was a lot of driving
Mm.
with normally with my 4.5-year-old mini schnauzer, no problem. But I had a 5-month-old mini schnauzer as well. So that was an adventure.
I'm sure.
Okay, I'm back. All right, Nilbert, good morning, and the floor is yours.
All
Okay.
right, good morning. Happy Tuesday, everyone. So nice to see everyone here this morning. I know some other folks will be probably shifting over from the other Zoom in a little bit. So in the meantime, let's open it up with anyone who wants to share anything, right? Any advancements? There's Caroline. Caroline, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm excited about this actually. So when everybody says don't give up on somebody, I have a Brazilian, and George knows who I'm talking about, Claudia, and we've been trying to get her to come on board. She speaks Spanish and or whatever language, they're from the same country out of Colombia. Anyway, she actually finally reached out to me yesterday for the first time in about 3 weeks. And so I took the time and she finally had a translator, so that helped. And we went at the coffee shop. I was there with her for 2 hours. We were talking about three international. And at first, she was saying that she's not a salesperson, and I said, "You don't need to be a salesperson. I mean, do you know people who have arthritis or whatever?" And she goes, "Oh yeah." I said, "All you need to do is share the product. You don't have to be a salesperson." And one thing she did finally understand was that she has to be a product of the product. So she needs to try it first to be able to feel that she can do that. And so her friend that was doing the translating for her, who's also from Brazil, single mother, I mean, not single mother, she's not healthy, but she's taking care of two children and her husband. She's actually interested into it now because she was translating to Claudia. So it was some, don't give up is all I can say, and just keep on going because I was impressed that they actually reached out to me finally after I just planted my seeds. So I mean, I was calling Adrian, I was calling George, I was calling everybody because I was excited that they finally, reached out to me. So
Uh-huh.
anyway, that's what I have to say.
Oh, that's beautiful, Caroline. Let me ask you how long did you kind of, because you said you never gave up on them. How long ago did you start planting the seed, and then how long did it take?
I planted the seed probably back in May
Okay,
because I had a function at my house. And
okay,
she's been to every function. And then she was finally at the function at my house, and it had George talk to her when Adrian was here. And then she was at the function when Adrian was here, and she had her Google translator on her phone so she could, people thought she wasn't listening, but she was actually listening to the Google translator.
okay,
And so, but she still wasn't convinced, because I think she was afraid to be considered a salesperson. And she says because
right,
of her language, she
right.
then I think we converted her. So
That's
cross my
beautiful.
fingers. It's not done yet.
That's Yeah, no, that's beautiful. The reason I asked is that it's actually a perfect segue to the topic that I'm going to share with you today. And so let's get going. So we've had over the past few months, we've had a lot of topics covered with personal development, and we've done grit, we've done resilience, we've done a lot of this like our daily methods of operation and all that. So this morning, I really kind of wanted to shift a little bit and go from like the daily micro, like small things little things that are very important for us to learn, to go a little bit more, big scale, right? And this might be a perfect segue to, like this afternoon's Empower Hour. I'm so excited for this afternoon. We have not only Kim Hui, but we also have Les Brown on there. So if you want a super double dose of motivation, you definitely need to get your teams on there. All right. So Welcome to today's training. And like I said, we've talked a lot about growth, success, and strategy. And so today I'm going to go a little deeper. Okay. And like I said earlier, George and Adrian's probably going to love the title that I gave this topic. Okay. Let's talk about something that's not always urgent, but it's always important. Okay. Let's talk about legacy, right? About impact, about what we leave behind. Not just in titles, I'm not just talking about titles, ranks, trophies, but, in lives changed, right? In values that we pass on and in seeds planted. That's why it was so perfect that Carolyn shared what she shared earlier. So I call this training legacy thinking, planting seeds you may never see grow. Okay. Now, for anyone who's ever wondered, because I know I have, is what I'm doing really making a difference? Has anyone asked that question? Because I know I've asked that question so many times, especially during the tough times, right? Yeah, with a show of hands, you can do, if your camera's on, or if not, just do the emoji, hands up. If anyone who has really asked themselves at one point or another, is what I'm doing really making a difference, right? Well, spoiler alert, yes, it is, right? But not always in the ways you expect or in the timing that you desire, right? That's the nature of our business. Okay. So what is legacy thinking? So legacy thinking is when you shift from short-term gain to long-term impact. Okay. Again, legacy thinking is when you shift from short-term gain to long-term impact. It's when you stop asking, what can I get out of this? Right? Okay, well, how many cycles is it going to be? Right? I mean, I'm not saying that's bad, right? Because that's how we build a business. But, rather start asking, who can I become through this? Right? Who will benefit because I chose to show up today? Right? So, being more um, giving and being more, I guess, what's the word? Cognizant of the impact you have on other people, right? It's like parenting, without needing a thank you. Like that's how parents are, right? I mean, believe me, I'm parent to a 5-month-old mini schnauzer right now, and my patience is tested up to this, right? But he can get really crazy, but I love him anyway, right? He doesn't need to say thank you, all right? It's mentoring without a guarantee that they'll follow through. How many people here have mentored folks that didn't really turn out? I mean, they didn't really follow you in your journey. It happens, right? It's building a business, not just for income, but to empower future leaders who haven't even joined yet. Think about that, right? You're building a business, you're creating an opportunity to eventually meet people, whether it's tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe later today, but these are future leaders who haven't even joined yet, right? It's so exciting, right? I like to borrow this quote from Nelson Henderson. The true meaning of life is to plant trees under whose shade you do not expect to sit. That is so powerful when I saw that, right? The true meaning of life is to plant trees because, we all know how long it takes for trees to grow, right? So you plant the trees and you may not be around anymore when it's large enough to have all those
A socket? Yeah,
to have all those what do you call this? Big enough to provide shade, right? So it's really a beautiful quote. And when I saw that, I definitely needed to share it. Right? This is the core of what we do in our business, in network marketing. We are not just building volume. Yes, volume is always good. Volume is always good. We are building vision in people, right? So, legacy over ego. This is very important. One of the biggest killers of legacy is ego, right? Ego says, I want recognition now. Legacy says, I want to make a difference, even if I'm not around to see the result. Wouldn't it be beautiful? Like, all of us here, okay, it's 2025, let's say 10 years from now, 15 years from now, we're all so successful. We're all, enjoying those six-star trips and all that. But you have the new people that you got into the business, right? That are just starting their journey, starting to build and continuing to the legacy, continuing to um, spread this global movement that we have. Okay. So you can either be remembered for how loud you were or how much you poured into others. Um, so which one will be, right? You can either be remembered by like how, like oh yeah, yeah, I remember that person because that person was always like on stage or speaking or whatever, but I would rather be remembered by how much I poured into others, don't you? Right? When people remember your name, like, oh yes, let's see, Sylvia or Lynn or Frida or Kenyon or Dix, they really helped me grow my business. They really spent the time to train me and to mentor me, right? Success is not about what you accomplish. It's about what you inspire others to do. All right, I'm going back to the wolf pack analogy. I love that. I shared that before. All right, let's talk about, some. This is really something that really inspired me. In the front, the old and sick wolves, because they set the pace, because they're the most vulnerable. Right, right behind them, the strongest wolves. They protect the front. Okay, and then in the middle, the females and the young, the future of the pack. Behind them, more strong wolves covering the rear. And last in the line, the leader, the alpha. Why? Because the leader must watch over everyone, guide from behind, step in only when needed. That is legacy leadership. Okay? Not control, not spotlight, but service, protection, and vision, right? True leaders don't create followers, they create more leaders. I'm sure you've heard that. I've seen that quite a number of times, but it is very true. Okay. Now, the seeds you may never see grow. It in a way it kind of sounds depressing, right? You're not really gonna see the fruits of your labor, but all right, you're going to talk to people, you're going to pour into people, you're going to pray over people who may never say thank you, who may ghost you, who may seem like they're not listening, right? And then one day, maybe months,
I'm charging it
what
now.
happened to Caroline? Like maybe months, maybe years, okay? Um, who knows how long it takes, right? You'll hear from someone you never expected. They'll say, I remember what you said to me on that Zoom. You said you made me believe again. You helped me see what was possible, right? I always believe in God's timing, right? That's why, it's one of the reasons I never get phased when people say no or people say they're not interested. Uh, I just treat it like, okay, they're saying no now, and they're saying they're not interested now, but lives change, right? People change. So, when you plant a seed that takes months or even years to develop, that's legacy. It's not the loud applause, but the quiet ripple, right? Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds you plant. That's from Robert Louis Stevenson. I love that as well. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap. So, you have a day, so there's some days that are good. You like make like, how many cycles, like people sign up, you feel motivated, you feel inspired. And yet there are days where, maybe you don't get as much cycles. Maybe everyone you talk to said no, right? But don't judge your day by that. Judge it by the seeds you plant. So in this case, the most direct application is judge your day by the number of people you reach out to, regardless of how they reacted, regardless of what they told you, whether they said yes, whether they said no, whether they said hell no, right? there are those people, right? So legacy is a daily practice. Okay. So how do we actually live this? Right? This is basically, and actually I'm going to after this, I did a checklist. I did a short checklist that may help you kind of live this, legacy as a daily practice, right? Serve without keeping score. Mentor someone, even if they're not on your own team. That I think is one of the uh, strongest, I don't know, benefit or strongest blessing we have in this community. There have been countless times. No, I'm not sharing any slide today, George. I'm just talking direct, face to face to people. There are times when I miss seeing all the faces because whenever I share slides, I don't see reactions. I don't see people. So, but thanks for asking. Yeah, George wanted to make sure that I'm not sharing a slide and just not showing. Um, yeah, mentor some. I was mentioning mentoring someone, even if they're not on your own team. We have so many leaders here that so freely pour their time and their effort into other people who don't even belong to their team, even if they don't have any financial gain. That is so beautiful in our community, right? Share your glory, especially the hard parts. Celebrate others more than yourself, right? Operate with faith. Not everything grows in your season, right? Again, for me, God's timing is everything, right? Let your presence plant hope. Let your example be someone's roadmap. That's very true. There's people out there, especially new people, they're looking up to you, even though let's say you may only have started like a few months ago, but you already know what you're doing. You already have a roadmap. You already have a daily method of operation. Someone's looking up to you. Wow, he or she's got it all together. And they're doing their roadmap based on how they see you, right? Let your legacy be the reason someone didn't give up. Yeah. Would I mean, all of us have, I think, benefited from this because I know there were times when it was very, very tough for me. And and it so happened I listened to a mentor or a leader give a training or presentation, or I saw that, a leader that I follow on social media post something very, very meaningful that gave me hope to stay in, right? So obviously, like, from everything that I've already mentioned, legacy mindset in network marketing is very, very important. In our business, it's easy to get caught up in numbers, in ranks, in monthly targets, which again, I'm not saying it's important. Those are very important because that's how you drive your business. That's how you measure how fast your business is growing, right? By numbers, growing your organization, achieving ranks, achieving your monthly targets. But never forget we are building here is generational, right? Your belief, your leadership, your story, it has the power to outlive you, right? So every direct message you send, every event you show up to, every time you choose to speak life, that's planting a seed, right? That's planting a seed. You may not always see when it sprouts, but trust that it will, right? You're basically, I'd like to kind of kind of call it like, or see it as a carving your name on hearts, not tombstones, right? Carving your name on people's hearts, not tombstones. Okay. So here's my challenge to you, right? This week, don't just build your business, build your legacy. Choose one person to mentor intentionally, right? Write down the values you want your team to reflect. I'm so proud of my team. We actually just officially got officially decided on our name. Of course, George and Adrian, they have legacy makers. My team, we are the destiny builders, right? And we're gonna be rocking those shirts in in Vegas. So anyway, all right, write down the values you want your team to reflect. Ask yourself daily, what seeds am I planting today? Right? Remember, you were never called to be average. We were never called to be average. We were called to leave a legacy. That's why each and every one of us here right now is on this huddle, because we were called to leave a legacy. Now, I'm just gonna share this. It is from scripture, so I felt it's very, very applicable, for those of us who lead with faith, right? Let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. From Galatians chapter 6, verse 9, right? So even if the harvest takes longer than you want, keep planting, keep showing up, and keep building. Okay. So I just wanted to share that with you. When I was thinking of a topic for today, again, I was like, we've covered so many topics that really help us, whether it's grit, resilience, again, daily methods of operation. But I kind of wanted to go a little deeper. It kind of ties in to make sure that we have we definitely have our why. It kind of ties into really giving us a bigger picture of why we're doing this. I know why I'm doing this. It may be tough right now. Like it feels like it's like a deja vu for me. I've been stuck in one rank for so long. Now I'm stuck in the next rank for so long. But I know I'm gonna get over that hump. I know I'm gonna get over that hump. It's only a matter of time. But for me, the most important thing is by the time I get over that hump, I'm gonna bring so many, of my team with me, right? So that's what I have for you today. Gonna open up the floor. We have a few minutes. I was well within the time constraint today. So I'm gonna open up the floor. In meantime, I am going to go into the chat. I'm gonna share that I created a PDF checklist, just a checklist of, people can kind of like use to, to live the legacy lifestyle, so to speak. And I'm not stealing George and Adrian's legacy maker's name, okay? It's just that it's just so appropriate that I'm doing it in this forum. So, so all right. Anyone who wants to share or have any comments or anything like that, or who wants to kind of chime in, like add any words of wisdom that they may have garnered, please feel free. I think, Diana, Dr. Diana, you have your hand up.
Yes, hi. Thank you, Nilbert. Thank you so much for just being able to share, and also the scripture that was really inspiring. I also have to think too, like, why am I doing what I'm doing? And every time I do come across somebody who I think everyone needs to be on three, obviously, but not everyone's going to receive it with grace. I think somebody said in one of the meetings, you have to say it 7 times to somebody, or present it 7 times until they finally like try it. But I have seen so many wonders in my own personal journey, and then also just being able to share and seeing other people's transform. So this is a gift. We get to give it. It's up to the person if they want to, unravel it and open up the gift. So, but thank you so much for sharing. Greatly appreciate you.
Thank you, Dr. Diana. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. And I did share in the chat. Yes. It's just
Marcella.
Marcella.
Marcella. I put my name up there, but it always goes away and I don't know how to keep it there. Anyways, I really appreciate all the coaching and all the training that you gave us. It was really super and fantastic. And I'm going to share that along. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Mei Ling.
Yes, thank you, Nilbert. This was so inspiring. I just love your presentations, as everyone does. I think I just wanted to say, even though I'm not able to work on this full time or spend a lot of time on this right now on my 3 business, it would be so easy for me to just like slide into the background and not do anything. But between what you said today and like what Adrian was saying yesterday, I'm going to keep hanging out with all of you. Even if I have zeros across the board, I'm just going to keep hanging out with all of you and stay in the game, because that is so important for me to not quit. Even if I'm doing this much instead of this much, I'm not going to quit. So thank you for your inspiring thoughts and words. I appreciate it a lot.
Oh, thank you, Mailing. I was listening yesterday, and I heard you share that yesterday too. And that's the key. Really, that's the key. I mean, the only way we fail in this business is to quit. As long as you're in the game, it doesn't matter how how tough it is right now, how slow it is going right now. As long as you're in the game, you're in the game. You're right. You're in the game. Things can still work out. Things can still, you can still get there, right? Jasmine.
Yes, I just want to thank you too, Nilbert. And it's just you are an amazing leader. I just want to thank you because you've been there for me. You're the one that's done like thousands of presentations for me for the people that I've tried to present to, and you keep me going because I I mean, like you said, it can get discouraging at times. I've had some, those hell no people and or people that tell me to stop sharing, whether it's white ice chest is at different places I've tried to share with, but you know, just your encouragement is and your consistency has been an encouragement to me personally. And even meeting Dr. Diana, I would never have met her if I ever had quit, and I see her vision and her inspiration to want to work this business as well as I just got we could in Delano for my mom and her friends, and one of them she enrolled that she did cancer. She told me yesterday she's going to an event with like over 200 cancer patients, and she herself just starting on the products for the past few weeks has seen a remarkable change in her health, how she feels, her energy, and to me that is a gift to as people have you've been in it for this long now, and I'm like, I don't know. I guess what the real gift is like I get these calls from people saying that they're feeling better and their health is as well, and I feel that's the blessing of doing this business, and seeing Dr. Diana too and her results and with her family, and hearing all the testimonials that we have. It's to me that's definitely leaving that legacy, and I feel purposeful. I feel grateful that you've been there for me, Nilbert, to keep me going even when I've wanted to give up. So I love you. I love everybody on the call, and thanks for this training.
Thank you so much, Jasmine. That's beautiful, beautiful share right there. Carolyn.
Yeah, I just want to share again, thanks again for this call, Nilbert. I have to say, don't ever give up first off, because I came into this business in 2019 with the other platform. And then I became depressed for 3 years, still was on my auto ship, never gave up, and came out of depression. Finally got back with you guys here, and the community's gotten different and better. I like it. And so, and I feel like I'm back in the game. It's been, it's been a tough 4 years, but I'm here and I'm ready to rock and roll. And I don't know the comp plan. I mean, I know it. I don't care about it. It's to make people happy.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you for that. Thank you. And just so you know, I did drop the legacy. It's like a legacy leaders daily checklist is what I called it. It's a PDF file in the chat, so feel free to download it if you want. And yeah, we are right on top of the hour. George, I'm going to turn it over back to you.
Yeah, amazing call. And there are so many things that you said, but I was posting on the right side. Now the one that the last part that you said is, we never were called to be average. We were called to leave a legacy. That's amazing.
Yep.
Because that's true. I remember one thing that I heard many, many years ago that said, God doesn't create garbage. It's basically the same, but
Exactly.
it's true. We're not called to be average because average is just to just go along with everything without trying to get better or anything like that. No, we were called because we had to make a change for not only for ourselves but for other people. Yeah, I love that. Thank you very much. It was a great call, like always. This is recorded. This is on YouTube. As a matter of fact, let me put the link on the right side. By the way, excited about you saw the announcement yesterday. It was a really quick announcement last night talking about the advancements, the advancement rewards that are going to be from here to November. Don't remember the day on November right now, but you can check on the wall or you can check in our announcements on Facebook too. It was an amazing. And of course, we are still in the September to remember. Remember the form. Make sure, because when you can track your result, you can do better. Doesn't matter if, by the way, you have it's only 1 hour a day or 1 hour every 2 days. Whatever time you put in is a time that's going to be accumulated. Because as far as I know, most people have started part-time. It's not when people see or say, George, you started full-time. No, I had 3 jobs when I started. Tres, for those of you who speak Spanish. 3 jobs. I don't know many people that actually started full-time in this business. Most of the leaders that I know, most of the people that I know, again, they started with 1 hour a day or something like that. You can check the video on Legacy Makers by Mark Yarnell, the $100,000 formula. He talks about how in 2 hours you can connect with 30 people in 1 hour, 10 minutes. Yesterday, Adrian, when she did in something like 50 minutes, she left 5 messages in 50 minutes. That means that if you add multiply it by twice, that would be 10. and that was in less than 50 minutes, it was like 10 minutes yesterday. But anyway, thank you very much, everybody. We see you in the call tonight. Les Brown is going to be in the call tonight with
Yes. 5 p.m. Empower Hour.
Yeah, 5 p.m.
5 p.m. Pacific, yes.
Pacific, that would be, 6 o'clock Mountain, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And I don't remember what time Hawaii, but I'm glad Caroline is in California and in Hawaii because I've never remembered the time zone in Hawaii. But anyway, thank you very much, everybody. And we see you in the call tonight. That's going to be amazing. See ya. Bye.